Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I feel like the XRP army has been through a battle this weekend. I think the other side is bloodied and bruised. I mean, these Bitcoin Maxis are just freaking hilarious. Look, folks, let me tell you, in 2019, I went to a Litecoin conference. It was the first crypto conference I had ever been to. I later went to Bitcoin Miami twice, and I think I may have gone to one other Bitcoin conference. Let me tell you what, folks. If you want to walk, the difference between, I've also been to Swell, the difference between going to Ripple, Swell, or like Consensus, and going to a Bitcoin conference or a Litecoin conference, it would be, I would compare it to walking in to a children's nursery at Bitcoin Miami or Litecoin to walking into the most sophisticated room you've ever walked into with Consensus and with a Ripple Swell type thing. You're talking the children versus the adults in the room. And the reason I've been in the XRP thing and following Ripple for all these years is because Ripple has always been the adults in the room, folks. And I watched that .com boom and bust, and I watched the people with no business plan like pets.com, but a .com on the end. I watched that crap. I watched what happened. I've been around these children that are, and while Ripple was saying, look, you have to work with governments. That's going to be a part of this. You're not going to, they'll bring out the tanks and the guns before they let crypto replace the government. While that was going on, and Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse were saying those kind of things, the Bitcoin guys, and they've stopped saying it now because now they're trying to lobby the government to keep their monopoly, their regulatory monopoly going. But back then, it was down with the banks. It was down with the government. You go to it, when I went to that Bitcoin conference, you would look on the wall. Chris Giancarlo was standing there with me, and he looked up at the wall. There was a picture of a dollar burning on the wall, like a huge picture on the wall. And he said that needs to come down. And that's the problem with these people. They're children. That's a childlike attitude. This thought that you're going to somehow, and I've always thought that it was an operation, a psyop to herd people into Bitcoin, because it's never made any sense. It doesn't make any sense that these people ignore basic stuff like the idea of this supposed secret creator and all that stuff. In grown-up land, that kind of stuff makes no sense. It only makes sense if these major companies and that are investing already know who Satoshi is, and they've lied about it all this time. That's the only world where it makes sense. That's the reason, at times I've owned a Bitcoin or two or three, but not right now. I sold all my Bitcoin in my iTrustCapital IRA into XRP because I think it's coming. Today, the markets have gone down. I mean, but I want you to understand something. I've been through market crashes. This ain't no market crash. The market's at 3.42 trillion. I think it started at about 3.65 trillion before the crash, the supposed crash. XRP's at 287. This is nothing, folks. This is a pullback. What you need to keep your eyes on is two things. The reason the market pulled back, which has nothing to do with XRP, and you need to keep your eyes on all of the things that are coming. That's what's important. China's AI startup DeepSeek unleashes havoc on AI tokens, Bitcoin, and the tech stocks. They report on this. So China came out with some AI app and it freaked the markets out and all of this stuff. In the bigger picture, it means nothing. Elon Musk is right over the target. Crypto Insight UK says, apply this to Bitcoin squad attacking XRP. Be wary of the censors. That's what they're trying to frame it and say, oh, Ripple's trying to undermine Bitcoin. They're trying to infer that Ripple's talking to Trump and saying, don't put Bitcoin in a strategic reserve. That's a lie. But they're crafting their words very carefully to create that impression because they only want Bitcoin in that strategic reserve. That's what it's really about. The ones trying to silence other people are the ones lying. Brad Garlinghouse tweaked social media yesterday, right in the middle of all the Bitcoin Maxis pitching a temper tantrum. He says, slow weekend, anything exciting happening? Well, let me remind you, the adults were trying to work with the government from the beginning while Bitcoin Maxis were holding conferences with the down with government, down with banks battle cry. All of a sudden, the Bitcoin children are begging the government for a monopoly status, to continue their monopoly status, and mad at Ripple for being transparent adults from the word go. Here it is.
So I remember first hearing kind of the Ripple pitch in 2015, maybe the end of 2014, 2015. And I remember, to me, the simplest thing at the time was, look, we actually want to work with the government. We want to work with banks to leverage these technologies to actually impact way more people. Because even today, with the success of Bitcoin and some crypto that is designed for more anonymous transactions, it's a tiny, tiny fraction of the global financial system. I think if you want to impact the most people and really put a dent in the universe, you want to say, how do we reach 99%, not 1%? Not how do we get the 1% using Bitcoin for payments to 2%, 3%? It's like, look, no, I'm going to go work with the major institutions, the major governments, and I'm going to introduce these technologies in such a way that they can have a broad impact on a broad cut of the population, the unbanked, the underbanked, in ways that I think are pretty profound. I think we all have to remind ourselves it's not about the speculation and price speculation of where is the price of Bitcoin going. It's about how do we use these technologies to solve real problems for real customers. And to the extent that is delivering utility, then there's value in those underlying technologies and underlying assets.
Boom. That's it. Always has been it. And remember, we're one announcement away, folks. Michael Saylor has bought more Bitcoin. It's yachts or padded room for this guy. There's not going to be any in between. And I hope it's yachts for the guy, folks. I want Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, I want Cardano, I want them all to do well on a level playing field. That's what the Bitcoiners don't want. 3.36 trillion total market cap, trillions to come. Dips right now mean nothing. I either buy like I did today, or I look away until it's over. Nothing is stopping this train. Here's Dark Defender. We expect a breakout in hours, and it arrived. However, I should have indicated that a downside break was also possible, which was my mistake. We expect this move towards 281 level. Address it 5 days ago. Patreon. Corrections are a must and normal, and do not panic. I was expecting 362 after this regular C wave, although we have entered expanded. 362 is still there. As mentioned above, the targets are still the same and solid. XRP will proceed with these targets with ups and downs. We will do our best to analyze. Raoul Paul, who's also he's a chart guy and understands all of this. I'm traveling for the next week, but just keep this summary at hand from this month's Global Macro Investor. It is all noise. Calm down, touch grass. BTFD, and please don't F this up. He knows what's coming. Crypto Bet Lord, I like this tweet, even though he tweaks social media. I'm convinced that XRP will experience a vertical style black swan. The price will go straight upwards with no warning. It will go so bloody, so high, nobody could have ever predicted. All shorts will cease to exist from that day. The world will change and Bitcoin will be flipped. I agree with that. Now, I got the Bitcoin Maxis, and these are veterans. These are people that have been telling people to buy Bitcoin for years. And I don't understand. This is part of what I don't understand. This guy, Dan Held, is one of the main guys. He actually was at Kraken. He's an advisor to companies. He's out there telling people to buy Bitcoin all the time. And I do not understand this. He blocked me because he said, F Ripple, a cancerous lesion on the crypto world. And I replied to him with the Four Satoshis video where they met with Homeland Security. And I asked him if he had done his due diligence, because it seems like a ton of liability if he had not. And he blocked me the second I posted that video. No response. I've never gotten any response from any of these Bitcoin maxis about that video because they can't. And then Wheezy, who was the one that found that video in the first place, puts this out. Several have used Freedom of Information Act requests to request information on that meeting with the 4 Satoshis. I wonder if they ever got responses. My understanding is the only responses that have ever been gotten from the government is that we can neither confirm nor deny. But my question is this: why isn't every Bitcoin pundit on earth filing one of these FOIAs to do proper due diligence before telling everyone to buy Bitcoin? Extreme negligence. It is. I mean, I don't understand this at all. And I know that they're putting in their documentation as one of the risks that if Satoshi was ever known, it could affect the investment. But I don't think that's enough. I think these guys need to be able to prove that they looked into this. XRP preparing for another beast mode of a rally. Despite the attacks, this is going to pull another hated rally again. I do believe that. This is one of the main guys that's he thinks he's going to actually hurt Ripple. Pierre Richard, he was calling for, he's calling for Ripple being blacklisted by A16Z, just crazy stuff. Hilarious. Ripple's been laying the tracks of the new financial system for all these years, and this moron thinks he's going to destroy it with a few X posts. Alt season will come in full force when the majority least expect it. This seems like the current scenario. You better believe it. Egrag Crypto weighed in. He says, current dump analysis, characteristic artificial movement, key evidence, low volume. Market tell lack of organic selling pressure. Why this matters: low volume dumps typically equal weak hands, not backed by institutional selling. Suggest potential bear trap. Below average trading volume, weak distribution, no significant selling pressure. The price action lacks genuine selling conviction. And then there's this, XRP calls XRP a meme coin. I said Bitcoin's a meme coin. I'm more bullish on Trump coin. Maybe they should not. Maybe they should add it to the strategic reserve. It's American. All right. And finally, this is interesting from Mr. Man. Strategic XRP reserve breakdown in value. Let's presume there's an XRP strategic reserve for the U.S. and presuming the same could happen to other currencies within IMF's SDR structure. Ripple has escrowed $37.7 billion. We'll presume the XRP is escrowed for the Fed and all these people. All participants of the Ripple net must hold an amount of XRP. So we can presume the IMF would need some as well. Based on the weighted amounts provided in the image, this much XRP would be allocated as follows. This assumes the IMF takes on equal share alongside the 5 major currencies in the SDR basket. So now we have a number of allocated XRP per jurisdiction. Let's determine what the value of XRP would need to be to clear U.S. debt. This circulation does not include other central banks, just U.S. debt. How much of XRP needed to clear it? To clear the U.S. debt, $37 trillion. XRP, the value would need to be approximately 13,574. Interesting write-up. Now, in DAIXRP.com, we're going to look at some mind-blowing stuff, folks, that's going on. And, you know, this is wild. What I'm about to show you, it was kind of like a, oh my goodness moment for me. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell your friends and family, come have your minds blown. Here we go.